Good morning. It's day 4 already, which is very weird. I just took my Thai test and it went kind of great. So the red are all of the mistakes that I made, but at least it's better than yesterday's. So that's good. So now it's 20 to 7 in the morning. I'm going to continue my Thai lesson until 8 as usual, and then I will continue Medusa, I think, and then later in like a few hours I have to go to the hospital for the speech therapist thing. Like, I'm going to speech therapist because I'm on testosterone and they can help me I don't know, exercises and stuff. I don't really know why. Like, honestly, I don't really know why. I think they will help me like deepen my voice, but I don't know how it works. It's interesting, but that is gonna take a while. So that is me reading Descendants of the Crane. I am so excited to know what is gonna happen, but I am holding back to read it, to listen to it while walking to and from the hospital. Like, that's the plan. So I will continue my Thai lesson, no more procrastinating, and then I will continue reading Medusa. So that's the plan now. Hi. I got back from the speech therapist not that long ago. It went well. It went great. I got some exercises on how I can deepen my voice further. So that's nice. And I finished this on the walk there and home. It's 5 stars. I don't have anything negative to say about this, to be honest. Like, there is one thing that I thought was very interesting, because as I said earlier, I think I had a theory, or like early on in the book, I had a fear. I was like, this is probably how it was with one certain thing, and then as the book went on, I felt like, no, I'm wrong. Like, it keeps proving me I was wrong in thinking the way that I thought, and then at the end I was correct. My theory that I had in the beginning that I stopped believing in was actually correct, and I was like, wait, I was right. Like, I stopped believing in that theory very early on after believing in that theory. But I love this. I thought this was absolutely amazing. Like, the whole mystery part of it, brilliant. Like, I have nothing negative to say about this book, and that's rare. So like, I rarely give out 5 stars. But Charlotte, if you're watching this, the last 2 books I have given 5 stars, you gifted me. Just take a moment to like, wow, you're good. Like, oh my god. I don't know what to say. 5 stars. Amazing. If you love fantasy and mystery, pick it up, read it. If you're interested in fantasy books with East Asian inspiration by a East Asian author, read this book. It's brilliant. It's amazing. I don't have enough adjectives to describe it. I love it. And 5 stars. That's all I have to say. 5 stars. So now it's pretty late. So it's like 5 in the evening. So I'm going to make some dinner, and then I will probably watch something. I don't really feel like I have the energy to read, but I did finish Descendant of the Crane. And again, thank you so much, Charlotte, if you're watching this. You're amazing. Thank you so much for gifting me another 5-star book. You're amazing. But now I'm gonna watch something, eat, just relax, and then tomorrow I will continue with Medusa and hopefully finish it. What does that mean? How many books have I read so far? 86. Tomorrow Make Me Yours, Ronin Island. I DNF'd Swimming in the Monsoon Sea, and then I read Descendant of the Crane. So that should make 5 books. And then after Medusa, I'm reading Gemini, and then Meet Cute Club. And we're on day, we're on day 4. Okay, so on day 4, I have read 5 books. I mean, that's fine, right? That should be fine. We should be fine. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm gonna read Medusa tomorrow. I am gonna speak into existence that I will finish Medusa tomorrow. And you can hold it against me if I don't, but I will. Because I've spoken it into existence. But now I'm gonna relax, watch something, and I will see you tomorrow. Hello. It's day 5. It's afternoon now. I haven't had the best day. I woke up before 4 in the morning. Really nauseous. I thought I was gonna throw up. So I remained awake, just trying to drink water, and I started studying Thai very early. I did do better at the test today than I did yesterday, so that's progress. All progress is good. And then I studied Thai for a few hours. And then I was exhausted because I hadn't slept much, so I fell asleep on my couch. And that wasn't the best thing to do. But it's 2 in the afternoon now. I have read some more of Medusa. I am 50 pages into it, so I have read like a third of it. And I thought that it was gonna be easy to get through this book. It is not. And that has nothing to do, like, the writing is amazing. It was just that the last chapter in this book, the one that I just read, was the rape scene. And oh my god. I feel like right now, after reading that scene, that whole chapter, what happened to her, it was like very well described. Like, it was as if I was there with her, and like it was such a powerful chapter in the worst way. Oh, so right now I feel like all I want to do is lie on couch, watch something very lighthearted, because I feel like if I continue, it's so difficult to read this now. After that scene, so I feel like I need to take a break before I can continue. And I think what I'm gonna do is what I did with Swimming in the Monsoon Sea. So I will read a chapter, watch an episode, read a chapter, watch an episode. So now I'm gonna watch a chapter. I'm gonna watch an episode of a show. And then once I've done that, if I feel like I can read another chapter, then I will. Otherwise, I will either watch another episode, or I will try and do something else to get my mind off of that scene. But like, you know, that feeling when you read something that is absolutely horrible and you feel it you know, like it's such an uncomfortable feeling that like it scratches your skin, like you feel nauseous. Like it's such a scene that it's so bad, like what happens, not that the writing is bad, but that it's such a painful and horrible experience that the main characters are going through, that you feel like, oh my god, and you want to just throw up and eat ice cream and not do anything because it's so horrible, and you feel so bad because of it. Like, that's how I feel right now. Like, yeah, I'm not okay. I am not okay right now. I want to finish, like, I have 150 pages left of this book. I can finish it today. But I feel like right now, after that chapter with the whole rape thing, like, it was a full chapter long. Like, the whole build up to the rape scene. And it was horrible, and I hate him so much. I feel like I will never be able to read a story with him without thinking about this, what he did to Medusa. I'm not saying a name because I know that not a lot of people know who the rapist is, so I don't want to name him and have people like, oh my god, it's him, and then I will affect your view of him. But yeah, that's how I feel right now. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna make some coffee or tea to kind of comfort myself and watch an episode of a beautiful Thai show. I love Thai television. And it's actually kind of funny because I have my notebook with Thai in it. And as I watch the episode, I check my notes and I like, oh my god, this word that he says, it's in here. And when they have like their names and stuff written in Thai on the screen, I stop and I go to my alphabet page and I see if I can pronounce it and if I can figure out what the word is, like how it is pronounced, how it is spelled, like if there is a certain consonant, if it's an M, an S, or an R, something like that. Then I check this, and it's actually really fun to do that. And I feel like that's what I need right now after Medusa. I just need something to distract me. So that's the fun. So now I'm gonna continue watching this show and hopefully feel better. And once the episode is done, I hope that I can read the next chapter of Medusa. Hi and good morning. I decided to do something different with my hair. That's why it's like to the side. Not used to it. It's day 5 already, which is super weird. And I have finished 5 books. So that's like, I'm on schedule. I just didn't finish a single book yesterday, but I did start off on day 1 with 2 books, and then 1 book on the second day, and I didn't finish a book yesterday. But I am halfway through this Medusa. I do really love it. It's just after that whole rape thing, it was very difficult for me to read. Like, I had to read 1 chapter and then do something else for an hour, and then read 1 chapter and then do something else for an hour. She just became a Gorgon, so she just got scaly skin, and the whole like thing with they're doing like, what is it called? But the thing just happened. She is a Gorgon. She got snakes on her head. And like, this was so heartbreaking. The last few episodes that I read, the whole rape thing, and then the whole thing with Athena as she became a Gorgon, as Medusa became a Gorgon, her reaction to becoming a Gorgon. It was so difficult to read. I do really love this though. This is an absolute amazing book. If you like Greek mythology and you enjoy like the tale of Medusa, you might really enjoy this actually. But a trigger warning for rape, and it is not, I wouldn't say that it's extremely graphic, but it's not just, you know, like Fade to Black kind of thing. It's not just he raped me. Like, her reactions to it, the way she describes it, like, it gets under your skin, and you're like, you saw my reaction when I talked about it. It was horrible, and like just thinking about it affects me. Like, I want to cry just thinking about that scene or that entire chapter. Like, it was so heartbreaking, it was so horrible, and I want to kill him. And I feel like it's gonna be so weird to read a book with him in it without thinking, oh, he's the one who raped Medusa. You know, like, I think that's a thing with when it's mythology, that how they are in one story, you kind of remember that and have that idea because of the name. You know, like, a lot of us who grew up watching Hercules, we have one idea of Zeus and, you know, the gods. I don't remember the other gods, but like, we have a very specific view of Zeus because of it. And then we can read a book and Zeus is a complete asshole, and we're like, watching Hercules again, we're like, wait, he did that thing in that book or story. And sometimes you can separate works from the character. Sometimes you can't. With this, I think I can't. I hope that I can, but we'll see. Like, the way that he acted in this, it wasn't Zeus. I will just say it wasn't Zeus. That's not what I brought Zeus up. I don't want to say who it was. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, I would rather you don't know from me, in case there are certain books where he is not a main character, but he's important, and he is nothing like he is portrayed in this. So if you love those books, I'm not gonna say his name because it might affect your thoughts on that book or that series. But yeah, I'm gonna read as much as I can, and if we reach a scene that I feel like I need a break, then I will watch an episode of a series, and then I will continue to do that. But my main goal today is to read the second half of this. I am 100 pages into this book, and it's 199 pages long. So I have 100 pages left to read, and my goal today is to finish it and hopefully start with Gemini. Hi, it's late, but I finished this a while ago and I cried. This entire book is so heartbreaking. It's amazing. I think the entirety of this is like kind of like a masterpiece. Like, it's so good and heartbreaking. Like, because you know what's gonna happen to her. Like, you know who Medusa is, even though you may not know the full myth or the myths regarding Medusa, or you know her background, what happened to her, and you just know that she's a lady with snakes on her head who make people turn to stone with just one look. Then you know enough. But this, like, I think if you don't know that much, I think the beginning of the book will really like affect you even more. And as I said about like the rape scene was very difficult to read, and there are, you know, how she reacts to it, the consequences of it. There are a lot of things that she goes through that are just so difficult to read. But I feel like even though this is 199 pages long, so almost 200 pages long, it felt like the story fit, you know, 400 pages. Just based on like what you were reading, it felt like it was a lot longer than it was. So like that is huge, like kudos to the author, to Rosie Hewlett, for being able to tell such a huge and impactful story in such a short amount of pages. This was so beautiful but difficult to read, but I did finish it. It's honestly very difficult to read this book, mainly because there were a few things that I really enjoy. Like, I can't tell you something in this book that I didn't enjoy. I mean, like, apart from, you know, the rape scene and all of those heartbreaking scenes. But it's not that I can't say that I enjoyed reading that, but like, I felt like, I don't know how to explain it. You know, with some stories, I enjoyed the way that the story was told, the writing, all of that, the pacing. I really loved how we got to see her perspective from beginning to end. And even though I hated certain like parts of the book, it's because of what was happening and not because of the story or the characters or the writing or anything like that. I was mad at how people treated Medusa, but I absolutely love this book. And right now I'm leaning towards a 4.5, mainly because I rarely give out 5 stars this year. So I feel like, so I don't know if I should give it 5 stars or 4.5 stars. I did really love it, and I feel like this is definitely a book that I would carry with me for a long time, and I would love to use it in education as well to discuss these kinds of themes. But I think I'm leaning towards a 4.5 right now, but I'm not gonna do anything like give it an official rating or anything. I am really tired. I should go to bed, and then tomorrow, after my daily Thai test and lesson, I will let you know what I thought about this book, and then I will start Gemini. Good morning, everyone. It's 8 o'clock, meaning I just finished my Thai lesson for the day. So the plan today is to read this giant, 700 pages. The good thing is, as I said when I chose it, it's multimedia. Other plans that I have today is I have to go to the grocery store again, just because I am out of food, obviously. That's why I have to go to the grocery store. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store, and on my way to the grocery store, or on my way home, no, on my way to the grocery store, I'm going to go to the library and pick up some textbooks for Thai, and I'm going to see if I can find any book also. Maybe a shorter book that I can read for this challenge, but I'm not going there specifically to find a fiction book. I'm going to find a textbook for learning Thai. So I'm gonna start off by reading a synopsis of Illuminate so that I'm on track, so that I remember everything that I need to remember in order to start the second book. And then I will start reading Gemini, and I will update you later. Hello, so an update. First of all, if you want to go somewhere, make sure to check the website first to see if it's actually open. The library was not open. And I did go to a bookstore to see if they had a textbook for Thai. They had a dictionary, Thai to Swedish. It was almost 800 Swedish krona, meaning it was almost 80 euro. So no, I did not do that. And the library is closed for maintenance until the 28th. That's sad. But an update on the book I was supposed to read and finish today. I am 160 pages into it, which sounds like a lot until you look at it. So this is where I am. And I was like, I love structure. So we have the different flaps. What is it called? Notes? Stick notes? I don't know what they're called, apparently. But they are for each 100 pages. I start off by doing, okay, I will do 100 pages. And then I can do something else. And then I do 100 pages. And then I will do something else. And then I read 60 pages. And I didn't do anything else. I mean, I did something else, but I didn't finish until the 200 mark. So I did read 100 pages, do something else. And then I was supposed to read another 100 pages, and I ended up only reading 60 pages. Mainly because like my issue with this book is it's so like difficult to find a rhythm with it, in my opinion. Like if it's all like a graphic novel, then you have like a rhythm. You know that it's not a lot of words on a page, and you can like get into a flow in it, in the story. And if you have a book that is, you know, a full-length novel, just a lot of words, no pictures, you can get into a flow, like you know what to expect. But with this, like I have reached a part of this book where there are a lot of pages with just text, which is fine before you turn the page and there's pages that doesn't have as much text, and then you again have a lot of text. So it's like, for me, like messes with my reading flow. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but that is something that makes it like, even though it's a book that you fly through very, very quickly, it's also a book that, because it is so different, when those larger like documents show up with a lot more text, I have to switch my focus in a way that from having, you know, these parts where there are images, illustrations, you know, like that, or a chat, to like move my focus from it being like that to being as if I'm reading a chapter in a normal full-length novel with just a lot of text for multiple pages. So that kind of like messes with me. But anyways, it's 8:45 in the evening. And we're gonna do something now that I have wanted to do for a very long time. And I was hoping that I could do during this vlog, but I wasn't sure I could do. But today, or right now, we have a blue sky, a completely blue sky. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring you along with me to watch the sunset and the sunrise. Hi. So this is like, it is so beautiful here. Like, look. Gorgeous. Right now I'm going to go down somewhere where there's a bench and read.
I tried reading while the camera recorded, but it's very windy right now. Like, look at the flag. We are very high up. You know, it's honestly really crazy to me that I live 20 minutes from all of this. Like, I love that I can be this close to this place with the beautiful view and all of that. But I'm gonna go home now. The goal was to watch the sunset and then the sunrise. Like, it's almost midnight and you can see it's still very light. Like, look at the sky. It's midnight. The sun went down 2 hours ago, but because I live north, it doesn't go so, like, how can I explain this? It passes the horizon, but then it doesn't, like, you know, go down a lot. It just moves very close to the horizon. But I'm gonna go home now and I will continue with Illuminate tomorrow instead.
Hello, good morning. This morning, I felt really energized and all of that, and I felt like it was really nice to take that walk up to the mountain and see the sunset. It gave me a lot of energy. I feel like it gave me a lot of energy. So I did start off today reading this, and then I did my Thai lesson. I am almost confident about the vowels. Not as confident about the consonants yet. It's still the same consonants that I have wrong. But update about this. I'm getting the audiobook. I hope that with the audiobook it will be better for me. I hope that it will. I mean, like, I assume that the audiobook is going to help get that flow because I'm listening all the time. I don't have to refocus and all of that. It's always someone telling me the story. So I'm getting the audiobook. I feel like this is the right choice. Like, I had all of yesterday reading it and I just got through 150 pages. We're gonna see, the audiobook is 12 hours long. But my goal is to finish this book today. It's 10 currently. So my goal is to finish this book today. So before I go to bed, this book is finished. I hope. Hi, so a little update. First of all, I'm an idiot because honestly, this whole thing with listening to it as an audiobook was amazing. Like, it was a great idea. Good job, Kevin. But why didn't I do it yesterday? I mean, I was out walking for 2 hours. Plus the whole thing, like, while I waited while filming the sunset, which was beautiful. Like, I could have spent that time listening to this book, but I didn't. So stupid. So absolute stupid. But this is how far into it I am. I am halfway through it. I don't know how well you can see it. Yeah, I'm halfway through. So I have around 300 pages left to go. The audiobook is great. I wish I had started with it as an audiobook because this series, or like, I remember that from the first book, the audiobook is absolutely amazing. And I would definitely recommend if you want to read this series. Now I'm in the middle of the second book, but because all three books have kind of the same format, they're very similar. I would recommend, if you have the book physically, get the audiobook too and listen to the audiobook when you read it physically. And if you want to listen to it when you don't have the physical copy in front of you, like, that works as well. But if you want the illustrations and you want to see the visual part of the book, I do recommend having the book in front of you while listening to it because the audiobook is amazing. Like, the sound effect, the voice actors, they're all doing such an amazing job that I do definitely recommend the audiobook. I decided to take a break now that I'm halfway through the book. And what am I doing? I am looking at some short books because it is day 8. So I have all of today, all of Saturday, and all of Sunday to read how many books? 4 books. Oh my god, okay, we can do this. So, Gemini, I will finish today, hopefully. But I was looking because I don't think I can finish another book today. I might be able to start Meet Cute Club, but it depends on a lot of things. But tomorrow, I hope to finish at least 1 book. So I know that I have Meet Cute Club left. And then I have 2 books that are yet undecided. And I was looking at my computer for what books can I read after I finish Meet Cute Club. And so I am currently searching for short books. And you know how I've been reading, or I've been learning Thai for 2 weeks. I am searching for books in Thai. I don't have the vocabulary or the skill to read Thai. Like my tests where I test my knowledge of the letters, I'm still like the vowels. Yes, I can do the vowels. The consonants, nope, not yet. I half the consonants I know. Most of the vowels, but half the consonants. So reading a full-length novel or even like a short comic in Thai would take a lot longer than reading like a 300-page book in English or Swedish. So I feel like this is a very bad idea, but I'm still looking at it. I'm still searching for books that I can read in Thai. But I should definitely get back to Gemini. I just wanted to give this little update. And I also am considering reading a little bit more of this. Because I do, as I've said with Descendants of the Crane, I do like that I have an audiobook that I can listen to while doing other things. So I think maybe I will take a break from this a little later and start Meet Cute Club. Because that is the last book that I was supposed to read specifically for this video, this challenge. So when I finish that one, I don't have to take a punishment for not completing that book. But if I don't complete 10 books in 10 days, I will still have to take a punishment for each book uncompleted. So I hope that I don't end up doing that. So that is 4 books in 3 days now. Hello, so it's almost 5 in the evening. I have only 120 pages left in Gemini, so I'm going to keep that. It's around 1 hour left of the audiobook, so I'm going to leave that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to start Meet Cute Club, and my plan now is to read this and do the kind of thing that I did with the other books, because I spent so much time just reading. I feel like I need to give my head some break. So I'm gonna watch a series and then watch 1 episode, read from the book, depending on like how long the chapters are, if I will read 1 or 2 chapters, depending on how long they are and how long the episode is. Like if I watch an episode that is 10 minutes long, or if I watch an episode that is 1 hour long. I could actually, no, you know, if an episode is 10 minutes long, I will put a timer for 10 minutes and read for 10 minutes and do that way. I will do that. Good idea. So that's what that's the plan now. I'm gonna start a new series, read Meet Cute Club in between episodes. Hi, good afternoon. It's 3 on day 9. It's so weird. Tomorrow is the last day of this little challenge. I am 150 pages into this, so this little flap here is where I am. I have only 100 pages left, so I will finish it today. I also wanted to give an update on my Thai, because that's really what you're here for. No. It went better today. The test, I don't have that many wrongs today, which is weird. Out of the consonants. The vowels the same, but the consonants, I am so impressed with myself. But anyways, I am going to focus on reading this and finishing it. And reading it now, like, it reminded me of why I loved it so much reading it the first time. Last year, I think I read it about this time last year, and I just absolutely loved it. And I flew through it, I couldn't stop reading it, and I have that exact same feeling now. We have this, like, cocky guy who, rides a motorcycle, is very, rugged. That kind of guy. And then we have one who is he's a more, like, professional guy, very down to earth and not as outgoing, more introverted. His name is Jordan, and the other guy's his name is Rex. And I love the dynamic between the two. And it's a lot of fun to read. I'm gonna continue reading it. Hi, I am a little bit red and a little bit like sweaty. I was gonna say moist. That didn't sound good. So sweaty. I just came home. I went to the grocery store because I realized that I had to go to the grocery store because I don't have food at home and I can't go tomorrow. So I had to go now. So I finished this book. I listened to it on the way there and back. So I finished it, and I have mixed feelings about it, mainly because a lot of the book, it felt as if I was rereading the first book. There were a lot of things that felt like direct parallels to the first book. We have these, like, not like star-crossed lovers, but we have the relationship between a girl and a guy in focus, and it's like revolved around them, and then it ends with the girl being like the girl in both books and in similar situations in both books. In the first and the second book, it's just a different girl. And so I felt like, sometimes I felt like I was reading the first book all over again. This, in some ways, wasn't a continuation of the first book. This is a second puzzle piece, and then I guess the third book will put those pieces together. The ending of this book, like the last quarter, I would say, you see connections from the first book and this book. Like, up until that point, I didn't understand fully how they went together, but I think mainly the issue is that I felt it was too similar to the first book, that it didn't feel like, it feels like I wouldn't be able to give a good summary of the series and separate the first and the second book. Like, yeah, just a lot of things happening in this were similar to what happened in the first book. So I felt like, for me at least, it was difficult to separate them, and at times I just felt like I have read this book. Then, no, I haven't read this book. I read the first book. But there were so many times in this that I felt like, have I read this? And I know I haven't, but have I read this? And that, yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy the last, like, 150 pages the most of this. There is a cliche in this that there is another series that I read from Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff called The Aurora Cycle. I've only read the first two books. And there is a trope in that book that I don't like in sci-fi that is in this too. And I wasn't thrilled about that. I don't want to say what it is because spoilers, but I did not like that. I wasn't a fan of that. So I finished this book as well. I only had 2 chapters left, so I finished it. And I was reminded why I love this so much. And I find it so interesting because last year I gave this 5 stars, but based on the new rating system that I have this year, it's 4.5. Like I said, I don't give out 5 stars until I feel like this is a solid 5 star. There is absolutely nothing in this book that I would change. And so I can't give this 5 stars. And the only reason is that, like, the thing that I would change is that it's so short. It felt a little bit too fast. I love slow burn romance. I would rather read a romance story that is 500 pages long than 150 pages long. This is 230 pages long, but I feel like with the same story and the same characters, it could well be over 300 pages, maybe even 400, and just have it drag out a little bit more. Because, like, that is my main critique of this, that it's a little bit too fast. Like, their relationship progresses very quickly. It's a very enjoyable read. Like, I really enjoyed it. I was very entertained. I still love this book a lot. Like, I'm still giving it 4.5 stars. But the rating for this chunker, I don't know. A part of me wants to give it 3 stars. A part of me wants to give it 4 stars. And then a part of me wants to compromise and say 3.5. Yeah, so we only have 2 books left to read in this 10 in 10 thing challenge. I am really happy. Like, in total, I had 3 days that I didn't finish a book, and I felt like, oh my god, this isn't gonna work. But it is, and that feels great. So tomorrow I have a little, because it is the last day for this challenge, I have a little extra fun thing that I hope you will enjoy. Yeah, Tiana. She wishes you a good night. Bye. Hi, good morning. It's day 10. It's the last day of this challenge. It's super weird. We're here with the last 2 books. The only 2 books that weren't decided beforehand. And because this is like the last day of this challenge, there are two things. So first things first, I am going to make a promise that I hope I can keep. I intend to keep it. And today are the next 2 episodes of To My Star Season 2. And I really want to watch that. But in order to complete this challenge and not be distracted, I am going to promise that I am not going to watch those episodes until I have read 10 books. And that honestly, I really want to watch those, but I really want to complete this challenge, because if I don't, then I have to take punishment cards for Yati BRZ for not completing the challenge, even though I read all of the Yati BRZ books. And it doesn't affect the book buying thing, so I can still, I have completed my Yati BRZ TBR, so I will take a card when I play Yati BRZ in a few days. But if I don't complete the challenge, that will be punishment cards for July, but doesn't affect the book buying thing. But to make things interesting, I am going to have my cats choose the 2 books, and not in the way that they did previously in this video. I am going to put treats by one of my piles. So we have punishment cards, and then we have title cards. So these are numbers, and that number I can count on Goodreads, in my book journal, on the shelf, stuff like that. Just general prompts. So what I'm gonna do, I have 2 cats, so they're gonna pick 1 card each. And because I want to be kind to myself, I will just do half. So this will have 2 piles, and I hope that they don't pick a blue card for me. Okay, so the piles they chose for me are title pile and the punishment pile. So that's nice. And I thought that I was clever by doing blue, yellow, red, yellow. I didn't think that they would take, Lucy took one out of the middle 2 piles. And I thought that Athena would also, I didn't think any of them would take the one directly at the wall of the bookshelf. I thought that both of them would not see that and just go straight to the middle. Athena saw it and she picked a blue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just shuffle this and take the card that is on top. So it's this card. So this is randomize 51 to 100. Okay, so we're gonna start with that. So we go to Google, to the random number generator from 51 to 100 and see what number we get. 72. Okay, so number 72, I'm gonna write that up, 72. So let's pick a book for that first. And I will, of course, start with seeing if I have number 72 as an ebook on my ebook TBR, because the 3 ways that I can pick a book for a number is either through the ebook TBR that I have on a spread here, or from my bookshelf, my TBR bookshelf, or from Goodreads. But here we have my digital TBR. I don't have 70 on my digital TBR, okay? Please be a manga. Please be a manga. Please don't be a book over 300 pages. I don't want a book over 300 pages right now. 72. We Dream of Space. Okay, so this book, I'm just gonna see if I have it. They have it as both an audiobook and an ebook. Okay, so I'm gonna save it as both an audiobook and an ebook. How long is the audiobook? The audiobook is 5 hours and 55 minutes. Okay, that's very doable. So now we're gonna go to my TBR bookcase and see what option I have there. I only have 63 books here, meaning there is no other contender than We Dream of Space. So I'm gonna read We Dream of Space for this. Hi, so I'm lazy. because I assume that we're gonna pick one and choose from here. So I felt like, why move everything again? So again, we're gonna just shuffle this. If anyone wonders why it's so, like, not a lot, I don't want to have, like, the punishments that I already have are enough. And I can redo them a lot with different results. So we're gonna take this card. Reread Freestar book. Oh, okay. This, oh my god. This was so much kinder than I expected it to be. I didn't, okay. So again, we're gonna go into Goodreads. And this time I can do it on my phone. So my books, and then this time we go to Read books. And then I just have to go to all of my Freestars. Heartstopper Volume 1. Okay, I'm gonna read Heartstopper Volume 1. I feel like me and Charlie have the same hair now. But I finished Heartstopper. My rating of it stands. I prefer the series. I actually tried rewatching the series, but I couldn't do it. You know, there are some books that I feel like I should have read this at this time in my life. Like, there are some books that I feel like I would enjoy this 10 years from now and not today. And some books you read and you're like, I would have loved this 10 years ago. And this, I would have adored this book 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I would have devoured this series. So that's the first book done today, and that's the 9th book done today. But not today, this challenge. So I only have one book left, and it's 20 to 10. So I have a long time to read a book that which audiobook is 5 hours long or 6 hours long, meaning as I read it on double speed, it will take me 3 hours. Now I feel confident that I will be able to finish this challenge. There were moments that I felt a little bit of panic, feeling like, no, I won't be able to do it. But now I feel like I will be able to do it. That's very good, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. What is that book called? We Dream of Space. Hi, so we're once again back on my bed, but I finished We Dream of Space. I did really enjoy it. Hey, Lucy. Yeah, we did. I finished We Dream of Space. I did really enjoy it, but rating it feels very weird. Or not weird, but difficult. So I did enjoy in this book that we follow 3 siblings in a very like dysfunctional family. And these 3 siblings are very different from each other. We have one who doesn't really know who he is. He was like, his identity was a basketball player, but then he like broke his wrist and he got this cast and he couldn't do that. And he tried to like figure out who am I without this thing, and how people kind of approached him. And we have his older brother who was pulled back a year, and he has some like issues, social issues, and he does something that is not very nice, and he's like easily irritated. And then we have a girl who has a dream of becoming kind of like an astronaut. She's very interested in space, and the whole thing is that in a few weeks when the book starts, there will be this launch of something called the Challenger, which goes out into space for a mission. And this girl is really interested in, like, she is a nerd when it comes to space and space travel. And it kind of leads up to that point, and then what happens afterwards and how it impacts the different people. Like, I feel like it was a solid read. It was a solid book. It was a nice read. I don't think I will ever reread it. So I can't give it a higher rating than a 3 star. So let's end this little challenge 10 in 10 with a 3 star book. But that's it for this challenge, the 10 books 10 days. It feels so weird that tomorrow I don't have to read a single book. That feels really weird. But thank you so much for coming on this journey with me, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you did, and comment down below Are there any of these books that you enjoyed? Would you like to read any of these books? And do you have recommendations for me based on the 10 books that I read today? Or today, these 10 days. But anyways, I hope you have a good time, a good summer, and I will see you next time. Good reading. Bye.